Today, we are looking at the journey of recovery. Whether you're recovering from a cold, a heartbreak, whether you're recovering from grief or trauma, it can be really difficult to see whether you're taking any steps, especially when you're in pain, when you're psychologically, emotionally, or even with your own bodily ailments. You struggle to see that way forward. And in other cases, we are unsure whether the actions that we are taking are actually hurting or healing us. And today I've come up with a few simple ways to actually assess your own recovery and then see whether those actions, those routines, those indicators are moving you towards recovery or holding you back from recovery. And the first one is trying to actually evaluate your level of independence, kind of like taking back the wheel of control into your hands. Okay, taking over the wheel, like being allocated back as the driver of your life. And you are able to take back more and more control of things, whether you are in hospital, whether you're at home being cared for by a relative, you gradually start to scale away from that intensive level of care. All that cooking, all that waiting on you in bed starts to reduce as you stop them to say, no, no, mom, no, darling, I will take my own shower. Give me 10 minutes. I will get there. When you get to that point where you're able to push yourself cautiously, obviously, but gradually towards independence, then that's a sign that you're getting better psychologically, emotionally, and actually taking back control of those day-to-day routines and your bodily functions. That will be a very important indicator of your recovery. And that is something for you to work towards to really meaningfully take control of. We all love to be waited on, right? We all love when family comes with the favorite meals. That's amazing. But you can so easily become institutionalized. So going from independence, that stage where you can do it now, even though you're still frail, you're still staggering, but you are pushing you into that space where you're taking back the control of your life, action after action. But prior to that, you're in that dependent stage where you're relying on the professionals, whether it's a doctor, mentors, and communities who are coming through for you because you need help. You can often start with that level of dependence where you're unable physically, emotionally, psychologically to do the things that you often do to cope in the way that you usually did. And so you rely on other people. You pass that driving task to them to drive you. And that is amazing when you have that support when needed. But it can often go on for so long that you gradually lose your own abilities or become too comfortable within that support that you are experiencing. So, as much as possible, your journey of recovery is taking back control, pulling back that wheel gradually into your own hands to a point where you are back in control of your own life, like chauffeuring yourself physically, mentally, psychologically, doing those decisions, keeping that privacy, regaining bits of that independence until the point where you can eliminate everybody and go back to full functioning. So you go from dependence to independence. But the other one that becomes toxic and problematic is codependence. When those around you become sucked in because of their own triggers, because of their own fears and worries and beliefs, or just struggles to understand what you need, what boundaries to put, what tough love to inject, and how to pull you out of that situation instead of joining you in bed with double layer blankets to really cuddle you to a position where you struggle much more than you are recovery. And that love and help and support and care can actually, in some cases, take you to a position where you struggle with recovery because, as much as you appreciate that love, as much as you need that love, it is not enhancing your recovery. It's taking away those skills and abilities that you need to be building. It's eating gradually into the confidence that you need to be rebuilding. And that can actually harm your recovery when you are dealing with people who are crying as loud as you about that trauma or even louder than you. Codependency is very unhealthy because you bounce off of each other negatively. You lean into negativity. You tolerate things that are not pulling you into recovery, but pushing you into further toxicity, further addiction, further handicap or limitation. And that is not generally a path into recovery. But these are things that you can easily start to see if you have that rational mind to actually gauge to see that, yes, mom, I love you, but all of this cooking and feeding and cleaning is not helping me get back on my feet. And that is difficult to say when you're weak and broken and in need of that love, but it is essential for your recovery to be able to support, not letting the helper become the rescuer, go all in to do it all for you without you trying to push yourself, to challenge yourself with that equal pull on the other side from the people who love you and care for you and need you to get back on your feet, not become too traumatized to actually believe in your ability to recover from that issue. And that's something that you want to watch out for. You're aiming for independence, edging away from that dependence, and definitely zeroing out on that codependence. And those are my three simple steps for you to start to evaluate your journey of recovery. And I hope that this makes a minimal impact on you from your own mind to your own heart and emotions and then into your actions by spurring you out of that position of cuddle and fear and worry and inability. Have a lovely, lovely day.